Hello, hello. I am eating. So if everybody wants to know, these are my absolute favorite Chex Mix, okay? Absolutely my favorite in the whole world. And I didn't think these things could be any better than they are until yesterday. My mom got Emerald Nuts. They were the Honey Nut Cashew package. They had a buy one, like a BOGO at Publix. And so she got those, and we mixed this with those honey cashews. Oh, those things were huge too. It's Emerald, right? And then we took Crunch Bar. You guys know the Hershey Crunch Bar. And like cut it up and made little, almost like little square chips and put it in there and made like a trail mix. Holy crap. We won't tell, I know my mom's probably watching. We won't tell her that I spilled a little chocolate on the bed, but she won't know about it because I got up in the middle of the night and cleaned it up. I didn't get into the trail mix in the middle of the night or anything like that. It's just, I would never stuff my face in the middle of the night. Listen to this. I got a call. Like when things aren't bad enough, it's like my whole yard is trashed. We took pictures of that whole thing. Do you know the trailer park behind me took their metal and dumped it in my yard? So now I've got a call. My neighbor saw them, captured them on film. So now I got to call code enforcement and have them come out and fine them for illegal dumping. Illegal dumping. Who does that? Just starts throwing something in some random person's freaking yard. Oh, thank you, Holly. Yes, it's Manic Monday. Manic Monday. Some exciting news. I can't wait. At the hopefully the end of the month, I'm going to be seeing Olivia. We'll see if that's possible. Many of you guys know I'm kind of bad here in this county. The hurricane, this last one really did, we were already impacted by Helene, majorly impacted by Helene. So when Helene, even though it hit further up north, when it hit our area, the bands of it had such high storm surge in my area, even though it was hundreds of miles away. It destroyed Anna Marie Island and Holmes Beach, as well as, property damage throughout, like fences falling down, trees down, power lines, the normal stuff that comes with that powerful storm. It was a Category 5 when it hit. And the actual size of that storm was so huge, it covered almost all of Florida. There was hardly anybody that wasn't affected by Helene. Out on the road, just like me, all the damage was brought out to our roads. We had garbage, mounds and mounds of high garbage, of debris, trees, fencing, and all this on all of our roads across the county. And they didn't have time to clean that up before Milton hit. And so it made all of that debris basically flying objects in this storm. Well, when Milton hit, it already took a very battered county and made it 10 times worse, like many other people up and down, our neighboring counties. This hit about 14 miles. The actual eye of the storm was only about 14 to 20 miles away from my home. So it would be perceived that almost the eye of the storm, the eye wall, was over our county, because that's how close we are to Siesta Key. And I've got to tell you, the damage that was done by this last hurricane and all the tornadoes was really, really bad. We have a lot of loss of life. One is too many, one person losing their life. Yeah, we're not going to do anything with the trolls. Let them go. Hey, good morning, Seth. Good morning. Let them go. If there's somebody that bothers you, you can always hit the button on the side where they're next to their name, and you can go ahead and block those people yourself and never have to ever worry about ever seeing them in another chat again. So go ahead and use your own personal blocking for that. But I am just going to keep it rolling because this stuff is needed for me. So just let the trolls do whatever they're going to do. We're going to be capturing all that on the back end. So you know, if it's too much for you, just block them yourselves. But I need to see who it is and what have you. You guys know we're in multiple litigation issues right now, so I can't block the trolls. I need the analytics from the trolls for the stuff I need for court. So if you want to know why we're not blocking them, that's why. So anyways, we got the dumping. I got to call code enforcement. I was on the phone with them, and I just got to call them back at this point, and I'm probably going to have to meet them at the house. We did start getting some pricing from the attorneys, and it looks like up front, you know, we're going to need to raise a little bit of funds. I'm not sure how we're going to handle that, so we're not going to initiate that just right yet, probably this week. For funding, I do want to let you know, by the grace of beautiful people out there that have been, you know, helping along the way this point, we have about over $2,000 in the coffers right now, and we will be raising some more money to get certain stuff, you know, reinvigorated as far as funding. This is going to be a costly process that we're going to go through, and it's going to be a lengthy process that we're going to go through. So we're going to try to make it as palatable as absolutely possible until we are successful and righted. You know, this wrong is righted. So that's where we're at right now. I heard Duty Ron had a lot to say about Bullhorn Betty. If that doesn't show you anything about how stupid and unprepared and how this alleged investigator doesn't know how to investigate squat, it's very telling that obviously he has a bias. We don't have anything to do with Duty Ron. Occasionally he has some things to say that I like because he's a law enforcement personality. But at the end of the day, if he can't see the forest for the trees, then he's no good at all. And considering that he hasn't even done one scintilla of research on the real facts, that shows me he's not very good at his job. He's not a very good detective, because one thing detectives are supposed to do is research, and research well, right? And do detective work. So that tells me he's just a fat putz, disgusting person that probably needs to maybe lay off the donuts and maybe start doing some actual research and investigation before he opens his fat lips. Just my opinion, but you know, I guess his buffoonery has gotten the better of him. So we're going to leave it at that. I think he's a colossal piece of garbage that clearly has shown he doesn't know how to do an investigation, and that's pretty scary if he's this New York detective, right? So I'm going to be looking into his credentialing, which I've never done before, but I will be starting to look into his credentialing, because if he's going to come after me, buckle up, Buttercup. Buckle up, Buttercup. That's all I got to say. Buckle up, Buttercup. And when he goes too far, I'll see him soon. You know, when he goes too far, I'll see him soon, and I'll see him in court, where we don't have a problem with these yahoos and suing them. So we will be doing that, because I'm not allowed to have an opinion of two people that may have unalived their child, but he can have his opinion of me being a psycho, but that's okay. And he doesn't deserve to go to jail, but I do because of my opinion. He's an idiot, okay? Pure and simple, a freaking idiot from a piece of shit area, and they probably do piece of shit work. Don't care for him, don't like him. I could care less what his opinion about me is. You never know. He might get to meet me in person with my bullhorn and a sign, because I'm constitutionally allowed to peacefully assemble wherever the hell public property is. And I'm going to stand on that. But I think he's a piece of garbage, and he doesn't do good research. So we're going to get off of that and move on. Sebastian Rogers is a 15-year-old child that disappeared from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, where he was residing and alone with one person. That one person has done more about trying to shut me up than they have about actually looking for the child that they lost. Neither here nor there. Lied under oath, lied to a judge, and tried to have, well, did have me arrested, and trying to have me locked up because they don't like my commentary. They're literally trying to have me thrown in jail for a year because they don't like the fact that I think they did something to their child. Never seen me, never spoke to me, never inspired my audience to reach out to them or speak to them. Duty Ron's and yeah, because he's a fat putz that has a platform that he finally gets the attention he feels like he needs, and he's a slob. I mean, let's just look at him. He's a freaking slob. And if this is the best we're going to get out of him, no wonder most of his cases don't get solved. Just saying. Who the hell is? I don't know. You don't want to watch him. He's one of these cops that don't believe in First Amendment, don't believe in freedom of press, along with off the cuff. That's why I never promote either one of them. I actually were promoting Duty Ron for a while because of some of the commentary he had on another case. But at this point, if he's going to do this to me, he can kiss my white breaded ass. You know, I really could care less about a fat putz that can't keep the cold cuts out of his mouth. I think he needs to brush his teeth, floss, and maybe do some actual book work. These people don't believe that we have constitutional rights. You could see it. They have disdain for media. They have all media, not just me, all media. That's why Duty Ron's not really on a whole lot of media. Nobody ever reaches out to him from, say, CNN or Court TV or News Nation. It's because nobody really cares about his opinion. Everybody knows him like I have learned about him. He's a putz. He's a putz. So I'm going to keep it at that. When he called me a psycho, that's him telling me I have mental, that's defamation per se. So we'll see what we're going to do with all of his commentary moving forward. But that's not what this is about. This is about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, not even about my yard. It's about advocating for him and demanding that his father, his biological father, the man that loves his son and has been out there fighting every day for his son to be cleared, in a very corrupt county. This county is corrupt. They don't care what happened to this child. I can tell you that they have information. This is what I'll say. This is what I'll say based on the interview on Court TV, as well as the portion of the interview that I saw on Josh the Lab. They've had information. We've heard about these abuse allegations for quite some time. We are learning that law enforcement has had these. Law enforcement is telling people like me and you in the public that there is no evidence of foul play. And I've been saying that's BS. That's BS, and probably why the county wants to come after me, right? And try to come after me and silence me by jail. Can't have First Amendment rights here in Sumner County, right? They can not like me, but when I don't like them, they try to throw me in jail. Oh well. Long story short is we heard about these abuse allegations originally from the stepfather on an interview, multiple, but I think it really was kind of the spotlight was shined on it on March 20th when these allegations were questioned on Smiley's World. And then again, it was questioned on Nancy Grace's interview, right? So the initial abuse allegations that we had learned about were from the stepfather's own commentary in these interviews. And now we're supposed to not listen or look at them or anything like that. But I have to say, Seth's statement on Court TV that he needs a protective order against these people, it kind of makes you realize that this is a little more serious, or at least it has that appearance that this is a little more serious than a belt incident, right? We learned that by the same stepfather, multiple visits to the house. How do we know? Because he slipped up and said, oh yeah, that's right. You know, this is the same one that we had a conversation with. I knew this person, you know, same type of situation as the last time. Remember that kind of, I didn't say that verbatim, but kind of the theme that we were getting. So it does kind of state that, you know, or make us at least believe that law enforcement appear to have a lot more evidence that would suggest that there is foul play associated with this case, from statements made, to these CPS reports that we're not a privy to, but we can hear from the father that sound like it doesn't sound good. Okay, whatever is in those reports sound really, really worrisome, because we see Seth's face. Okay, when he makes these statements on, say, court TV, like, I need protective orders for my son against these people. Things of that nature. I can't remember verbatim what was said in that court TV interview, but it was something to that effect. So we know it's got to be really, really, really bad in those reports. So if we know that they're really bad, we know CPS has definitely got to be working with law enforcement somehow, that this would have been an avenue that law enforcement would have looked into. So law enforcement, in my opinion, would have possession of those documentation. They would have everything that, say, Seth has. Even though Seth can't distribute that information, he still has it. And every time he speaks about this in the only way he can, it sounds a lot worse than what we have imagined. This sounds like it's a little more complicated, and it goes well past, a simple belt incident that could be misconstrued as a punishment. It sounds like it was multiple events. And I even think that Seth had stated that there were multiple events here earlier on. I can't remember if it was my interview or somebody else's interview that he stated that first, but I do remember hearing that. So we have that. Then we have the fact that there are no dogs. There were no dog scent hits. That's pretty alarming for a child that allegedly walked out of the house without any shoes on. Very, very alarming, in my opinion. So we have a child that has no shoes. We have a dog scent that doesn't pick up this child's scent. And we have no evidence of this child walking out, because even in the stepfather's own words, on Smiley's World, again, March 20th, 2024 interview, he states that if somebody were trying to break into the home, that there would be something on the camera across the street. Now, it wouldn't be good, but you would be able to see a figure or a shadow. Well, guess what? There was no figure or shadow. So the only time we have any activity on this outside of that house is the Nick Barris video that was dropped on March 14th. And what we saw on the March 14th is what appears to be two flashlights coming from the back side of the home to a parked vehicle that had been there for 3 to 5 minutes. We don't know what happened to one flashlight, because it just disappears and the car leaves. But we do see the second flashlight quickly returning back to the back side of their residence. That is the only event. That, in my opinion, would be the only time he could have left the home. But again, he clearly did not go out that front door, because had he gone out that front door, he would have been captured on that camera that allegedly captured him taking out the garbage. It was not there. Then you couple that with the dog hits. Now we did have the dogs following a trail. But if you look at the trail the dogs followed, and you look at the trail of the lights and the light source, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Who were part of those light sources? I have to believe it had to be somebody from inside that home, because that dog only had scents to follow from inside that home. Whose scent was that dog following if it was not Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers? Right? That is something that we have to do. I know a lot of people are upset because of my opinion on this case, but I followed the leads where they went. And the leads aren't looking good at all for part of the family. We followed the leads where they led us. And now the county's trying to shut us up. Why? Probably because there is evidence of foul play. Probably because they've lied to the public. Probably because they keep trying to sweep this under the rug because of their donors in an election cycle. Maybe they'll get off their butts and do something about this case after the elections are said and done. But boy, they need that second generation money, right? They need help getting in. Maybe when they get in, they'll do right by this child instead of right by their pocketbook or their voters, right? Because let's face it, what happens if it's your child or your loved one or your family member? These people are playing politics at the expense of your child. When you start covering up for people that have done terrible things, we've got ourselves a huge, huge problem. It's one thing to want to distance yourself from the publicity, but to literally execute a strategy that infringes on people's rights to speak is a whole different caliber of corruption that I've ever seen. And the only thing I can equate to that is donations, donors, politics. We all know that there is a swamp. This swamp needs to be drained. Anybody that's in here, if you are in Tennessee and you are specifically in Sumner County, I am definitely a MAGA first person. I am a conservative. I know not everybody in my audience is like that, and God bless them for being here, because I know politics this day and age is choppy water. But they're not here for politics. They're here for these victims. God bless you guys for dealing, with my commentary, especially some of the stuff you guys don't agree with. But at the end of the day, this is the area that they're in. They are very concerned. Oh, hey, it's Jen. It's me, Jen. It's nice to see you, my love. Good morning. We are definitely, at least I am definitely red. I'd like to say our chat is a little purple, because we're a little colorblind when it comes to the politics. We only want to work on, means that are for all of us, right? Aw, thank you. Nick says, happy Thanksgiving to all Canadians. Hugs to everyone. Justice for Sebastian. Don't give up. Thank you, love bug. Thank you so much. But this is a conservative county as well, so they should be in the same mindset as me as far as, law and order, not wanting to have swampy areas. But a lot of people also, because of how popular Trump is, all they want to do is say that they're Trump, they believe in Trump. No, they don't. If this is the way they're conducting their county, I can guarantee that they don't know a damn thing about the man, because the man's trying to drain the swamp, this very swamp that they're creating in that county. I can guarantee that. And if they don't realize that I can guarantee that, I don't know what else to say, because I can tell you this kind of stuff is exactly what enrages Donald J. Trump, because he's going through a lot of the same stuff. They are rhinos. What we call these politicians that are in places like Sumner counties, we call them rhinos. That means Republican in name only. R-I-N-O, not R-H-I-N-O, R-I-N-O. Okay? And that's what we're dealing with here. So they're basically the opposite of what I believe in. And they actually think that they can control somebody if they are all working as a system. Now, that's, again, this is all of my opinion and based upon my experience in this area. So somebody that probably doesn't do the work that I do probably doesn't have the experiences I have, and that's good. But I can tell you something is definitely not right in this county. And the idea that they have no evidence of foul play, I'm going to call bullshit on. Excuse my language. I know you guys don't like me cussing, but we just got $10 from Nick. It bought me a few cuss words, okay? Bought me a few of them. Lawfare, exactly, show poodle. Exactly, show poodle. And so we also have to look at that. So I do absolutely, oh, Miss Lee, mom of three. That's so beautiful. We aren't red or blue. We are for Sebastian. We're green. I love that. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. And I just really believe that there's something very hinky going on with this county. So hinky that I fear for anybody going into this county, and so much so that I have decided to fight this county. Now, I don't violate protective orders. It would be just very easy just to move past this and fight them on the criminal side and appeal that if they gave a poor decision. But because these protective orders were lied to and the judge doesn't think that proper service is as a necessity in civil litigation, we're going to have to challenge it, because if I don't challenge it, this will happen to somebody else. Okay? This will happen to somebody else. It's already happened to other people. And I want to make sure that we always try to leave a place better than when we came. And whether they don't like it or not, that we're going to leave it better, because we don't care about the politicians. At the end of the day, we care about the people. Why? Because it's we the people. They work for us. I don't work for them. Okay? They work for us. We don't work for them. And sometimes there are some things that have such a great cost, even though it seems very petty, that you have to fight, you know? And as petty as this may seem, this has major legal consequences, not just for me, but for that community. And that we cannot stand for. I'm not leaving that community in a worse position than when I got there. We always leave these communities in much better position. Ron has done nothing to find Sebastian or arrest his killers. I agree. I agree. Duty Ron's an idiot. He's a buffoon. Send him that. Clip that. He's a buffoon. And I tell him, clip this too. I hope Duty Ron actually learns how to investigate before he opens his fat lips. Just saying. Because he's a narcissist. He may think I'm a psychopath, but I'd rather be a psychopath to his narcissism. So there's that. Good morning, Win Bigley. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So we are going to continue to fight for Sebastian. Obviously, you know what? There's a no contact order when I haven't contacted anybody. Again, oxymoron. We're still going to move forward with this case. Sebastian is worth it. Seth is worth it. Seth has been through hell and back for his son. And the bleeding has got to stop at some point. And this county has got to start taking responsibility for a mess that they created. Period. This child should be here. We shouldn't be in this situation. Seth should have been informed that something was going on behind those closed doors. He should have knew that his son was dealing with a bunch of abuse behind those closed doors so he could go and take care of his son. But he wasn't afforded that opportunity. He was not knowledgeable of that until after his son disappeared. That is unfair to that man. And for this county to say he does not have a right to be pissed, he does not have a right to open his mouth or fight for his son, he doesn't have a right to go out there and search for his son when nobody else is. And God forbid you try to build a team, they're going to arrest the whole damn team because they have something to say that they don't like. I think it's slimy. I think it's swampy. And I think it looks very, very corrupt. And at the end of the day, it's about appearance. And there is an appearance of impropriety in this whole damn county, period. And until we get that in check, nobody's going to be able to go in that county and look for this child without being in fear of being arrested for their commentary and their beliefs. And I find that despicable and appalling in America. Despicable and appalling. Seth does not deserve this. His son does not deserve this. His son deserves the absolute best. But when you've got people in the pockets of these people, it's making this whole entire situation a lot more slimy, a lot more swampy, and a lot worse. But if you don't think that Sumner County is a swamp, it's the epitome of swamp. I will be wearing forever Drain the Swamp pin on my shirt from here on out every time I go into that county. Along with a camera, of course. Not like they even care. It's like, oh, well, she was running the other way when the crowd was coming. Oh, but she was the one attacking. Yeah, she's running away, right? They can see what was going on. and still not deal with it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just, I'm a little angry that I truly have found a county that is corrupt, and they're trying to say that they're a conservative county. No, they are not. And if that county really believes that their county is conservative, you need to take a walk into a real conservative county. Okay, what you're dealing with is politicians. They have no integrity. It's all about money and power in that county. That's all they care about is money and power. You guys need to start finding the statesmen in your county. They are typically the underdogs. So going for the most popular person year after year is not the way to go. Okay, there's a reason why they're getting so much funding. They can only get so much funding typically by people like developers, people like second generation, right? I had an opportunity from the few visits that I had, were there for. I got to see some of their work. They put up big houses. They are absolutely developers. Here in my county, our developers own this county. Trying to get a politician in this, we can only keep them for maybe 4 years before they are drawn in by the developer power and money, and then they start flip-flopping here in our county, and then we got to fire them because we're sick of the developers owning our county. And I pray to God that Sumner County, Tennessee gets that way too, because I can tell you your sheriff is bought and paid for. And he's not there to help you. He's there to help his donors. He doesn't think he has to treat outsiders the way he treats his own community, and that to me is disgusting. Somebody that puts a badge on and swears to uphold the law and is dirty and grimy as some of the criminals that they put behind bars is disgusting to me. It's absolutely disgusting. How much cash has CP given Duty Ron? I just think Duty Ron's an idiot. He doesn't need any cash to be an idiot. I can tell you that if I found out if he was on one of the cases as a detective, I'd have him removed as quickly as possible. Because if you can't see the trees for the forest, you're not worth your salt in freaking detective work. Period. We would run circles around him. So I have some kind of exciting news, but I'm not going to tell too much for confidentiality purposes because we know how the animals are on here, and we're hoping that this will prove what we need it to prove as well. So Chronicles of Olivia and I are going to be doing a project together here. Her and I are going to meet and see each other again. It's going to be a small little project. We're going to a place in North Carolina. And I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to say too much about it. But I am so excited to see Olivia. I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to bring Delilah or not. I still think she's a little too young. But we'll see. There's nothing going on around here. I got no airports. I got no power at my house. I've got no internet. And it's kind of, I'm with my mom right now. She has power. And we're using hotspots in our phones to power Wi-Fi. But it'd be nice to see a friendly face, but the problem is I don't know how I'm going to get there because I don't think my car's going to make it. So it may not come to be something that we're going to be able to see each other face to face. I'm hoping we will. It depends on how everything works out. But, we're going to be working at least through the phone and working on just an interesting little skit. She's really excited about it. I'm kind of excited about it. I haven't seen her in a while, so she's been working on a bunch of different cases, and I've been working on this case. So I'm really excited to start researching with her again and start putting some pen to paper. We have already met this morning, on I guess FaceTime, and had some meetings about this thing. So I don't know. I'm just kind of excited. I'm kind of excited because I haven't worked with Olivia in like a year on anything, and it'll be nice to be back in the saddle with her. So Oh, Chris won't go after Olivia. Truth in Time says Chris won't go after Olivia because she's pretty. Yeah, well, Olivia, she's sweet. I don't think I don't think she'll have crap to do with that psychopath. That's because the difference is I'm not intimidated by him. That's the problem. That's what he doesn't like. He likes raising his voice and somebody goes, okay, I'm sorry. And I'm the one that says, you know, whatever. I think that's the difference, but who knows? I do too. She looks so cute in that. I put her in a dress that says I'm too cute. So, well, if you need to come to North Carolina, well, that's the problem is my, I don't know if you guys know this, but my airport lost part of its roof. So the airport's been closed down. We took, like I said, these two hurricanes back to back really did a number on my community. Like I think they're still getting people up and running. We don't even have gas, y'all. Do you know that? Like we're rationing gas. There's like literally, like they've got strategic gas places set up, and part of our county has no power, that you can't pump gas without power. So DeSantis is bringing truckers in. We have one of the free pumps here but they'll give you free 10 gallons of gas. That's it. And you can't get gas here. That's the problem. We have no gas. I mean, we have gas, but when you have no power, you got no pumps to pump the gas out of the ground. So we're all sitting here. Like yesterday, I had to take the rental car back. And yesterday, I had to stand in line. There was one gas station. Like we had to go clean out to the parish area and Fort Hammer Bridge just to get gas. There's no gas in this county. No pumpable gas. And so I had to sit in line for about 30, 45 minutes out there just to get a half a tank of gas because, you know, I didn't want to be charged whatever they were going to charge to fill up the gas, you know, thing because there's no gas. So I stood there and I went in line for, you know, however long it took me to get up there to pump. And like you couldn't even pay for the gas at the pump. You had to go in and prepay. Like it's like people don't understand. It's bad when you can't even get gas in your car or gas for your generators. You can't run anything. We have no gas here. More than half of our county, like 70% of our county, has no power. There's no internet. The only way you can get internet is like I got the hotspot over there, which you guys have seen. It's the little box that I take everywhere. So when we're in rural, I've got the phone that has Verizon, and I got the hotspot that's AT&T, and I do that. So I have two of the major carriers there. So we're never without internet, because one of the worst things that you can do is be in the backwoods of Tennessee with no internet and lost. Okay. You got to be able to get out. So I find having two different, you know, subscribers like Verizon and AT&T, one of them always works somewhere. So I feel safe like that. Now there has been a time when I couldn't get either one of them work, and I'm like, what do I do? I had to stop and ask 1,000 people how to get out of the place. Oh, thank you, Vicky. Thank you. Oh, Ricky Beavers is up in the house. Nice to see you, my love. It's been a wild ride. This last year has been a wild ride. I can tell you that, from taking on this case and just seeing all the nastiness from law enforcement. I got to tell you, this case has really, really opened my eyes, because I've always been law and order, and I always believe that judges pride themselves off doing the right thing. But I don't even know if this judge is corrupt or just, you know, just ignorant to civil law. I keep hearing it's just ignorance to civil law. But, you know, if ignorance is not a viable defense for people, you know, that's what they say. You not knowing the law, that's not a defense. It shouldn't be a defense for a judge. And like I said, they have clerks, they have you know, all kinds of programs that they can just plug in some keywords and know. So that man read that, and I believe he read this. So it's either his interpretation of black and white English or he's flawed. And I don't know which one it is. I'm not going to harp on it because, good God, I hate to have to be back in front of him and him saying, "Oh my God, I don't like your commentary. 11 months, 29 days for your voice." I don't trust him. I don't trust anybody in that county. I think they're all crap. Your government sucks, people. I'm going to tell you that. You want corruption out of your county? Vote it out. That's all you can do is vote it out. But you guys can see exactly what's going on. I would never want that Sheriff Craddock, being the investigator over anything. If I had a child missing, I would ask for anybody other than him. I'm sorry, I would. Yeah, I'll get through this. I know. But it sounds like we're going to be campaigning for funds. We've already got a little over 2,000 raised as we sit. A lot of gracious supporters. I want to give a big shout out to Andrea. I love you, girl. Thank you for your generosity and everybody else's generosity that has really, really helped. You know, we never like to try. We try to handle everything ourselves, but this is kind of past my, past what I can afford. So we just gotta, encourage some fundraising and stuff like that. But this is something we can't just ignore. You know, if it was just simply I could care less. I don't talk to these people. If they want to bamboozle a judge or this, that, and the other with a bunch of lies, I could care less. I don't reach out to these people. I don't talk to these people. I don't ask anybody else to reach out or talk to these people. I've done nothing wrong. Okay, I could care less. But it's the fact that now what the judge said, I thought was totally out of line. I thought was totally out of the line, and he would not allow me to defend myself, period. And he would not allow, he wouldn't allow me to speak. He kept interrupting me. He kept making my train of thought. He was very frustrated. It doesn't matter. When we walked into that court, we knew we were kind of screwed. We could tell it seemed like somebody had had breakfast with the judge before he went into that hearing. I don't trust them. I'll never trust them. This was really, really poor behavior. They may say my behavior is poor. There are times when I say exactly what other people feel on my show, and I'm entitled to do so. I'm entitled to show my frustration, my anger. I'm entitled to show when I'm stalked. I'm allowed to cuss. I'm allowed to tell somebody to go get bent. I can do all that. And a judge is basically saying I'm not allowed to. Apparently he was born in China. Don't know what to say. But here I was born in America. And America has the freedom of speech, the freedom of press, and he doesn't get to dictate how my press is done. He doesn't, just because I'm an investigative journalist doesn't mean I have to come out here and say, "Oh, this, and this." I'm not going to give you my opinion because I am required to be unbiased. And I am required to not say my opinion. I don't know what kind of, that might be the standard crap that they can control in their county with their own media. Okay, we're alternative media. The whole purpose of us being alternative media is because we're sick and tired of mainstream media. We're sick and tired of them being controlled by politicians. We're sick and tired of them not being able to state what they believe. I don't have a board of directors. What they're trying to do is say because these people don't like my commentary of them, they can put a protective order that is meant for somebody that is in fear for their life. They're in fear of my words. And if I cross the line, they can come to Florida and sue me for defamation. What they can't do is make it a criminal because they don't like my commentary, and that's exactly what they did and exactly what that judge allowed them to do. They don't get to do that. So we're going to be fighting. I wanted to keep you guys all apprised of what was in the coffers because we're going to be raising some funds over the next week to get this out of Sumner County, or at least to have it reviewed. Right now, I think the initial fee that we need to pony up, I'll tell you, don't get sticker shock, please. Don't get sticker shock. but we're looking at $15,000 to $30,000 for the whole kit and caboodle. But I think we'll be good by raising $5,000 to get the retainer and whatever they need to get started. And then we'll just do $5,000 fundraisers or $10,000 fundraisers or whatever. We may just go ahead and just raise the full $30,000. I'm not sure how that'll be, but the first initial payment is going to be, and we're going to need to raise it fairly quickly, is going to be about $5,000. And like I said, we have a little over $2,000 in the coffer. So I think raising an additional $3,000 to get this attorney going is not going to be too bad. And then once we get him started, then we can do the big fundraiser and start. We'll have a little more breathing room to raise up the rest of the money. And I think that will be good. So we're going to do this. Who was that? Oh, thank you, Lisa. Betty is on the right side of all this mess. Thank you. God bless you. Oops, I'm trying to heart it and it keeps wanting me to. So what we'll end up doing is, I think the best way we're going to do this for everybody's peace of mind, which you guys know I do not like doing GoFundMes, but I think once we get a good number, we'll go ahead and do the GoFundMe. Then everybody can see how much money was raised. You know, they can have their own receipts and whatnot, because I don't want to be bothered with it, and I don't want people. You know, I really don't care what the hate channels say. They're always going to say something nasty, so we're already expecting it. So I don't care. You know, I don't care. This is for that community. This is for the benefit of that community and to right the wrong that community has done to me. And I can tell you that their politicians are acting in in opposite direction of their community, because I've spoken to a lot of their community. Even those yahoos that are running it don't know their ass from their elbow. But that's not my problem. My problem is their community has lost faith in them. And I hope that is. But see, with Eric, it's not going to really matter because nobody is running against him. So what's going to end up happening is, because there's nothing worse than a scorned woman, right? Is Eric Craddock might be elected in this one, but I can guarantee in 4 years, he will not be that sheriff. How do I know that? Because they just picked a scab with me, and I will be in there interviewing people to be the sheriff. I will get them the money and the support that they need politically to run for sheriff against Eric Craddock. And yes, I have the ability to do that, have done that all over the country prior to me ever doing true crime. And I will find a very conservative, since it's a conservative area, find them a great conservative person that they can be proud of, that doesn't bow and bow down to the swamp. If you want to drain the swamp, it means that the voters in that area need to step up to the plate and drain the swamp. You see what is going on here. You see that somebody can just have a privilege and name and can literally, a child disappear, and they can throw their opposition in jail. That is disgusting to me. That has got to be nipped in the bud. That has got to be challenged. We don't have the luxury of walking away because of the precedent that they're setting for their community. I'm gone, right? I was there for 3 days. That was it. I'm gone. It's not like I have to deal with their laws. It's their community that has to deal with their laws. It's the community that's going to be railroaded from them. It's their own people, their own taxpayers that are being railroaded when I'm not there. We need to put a nip in the bud for all of it, for all of them. And I do believe we have a great team in place. And I do believe that we are going to move mountains. I believe that because I'm calm. I have, we are a very religious channel over here, a very loud channel. We'll tell somebody to get bent real quick. But at the end of the day, we love God and we love our people. All the people. And right now we have a child missing in a county that keeps screaming from the rooftops, nothing to see over here. I'm saying bullshit. There's a lot to see. We're not sweeping this under the rug. As a matter of fact, we're taking that rug and rolling it up and pitching it in the freaking garbage. Because I'm telling you, all the trash is about to be revealed. All of it. Every bit of it. And it needs to be. So once I get some direction, I'll let you guys know what I need. But I just want to thank you for those that can afford it. Keep, bringing those Cash Apps, Venmos, and PayPals. They're just staying in that account until we need to move it over. But we are going to be running a major campaign on GoFundMe so everybody can have their ideas of what needs to be done, how much money how much money we need, how much money has been collected. So there's receipts, because I don't want to sit here and have to do this. You guys know I'm not a receipts person. So I think this kills two birds with one stone. And as soon as we have it done, we will roll it out and let you guys know how to support this measure. I just want to thank everybody that has been supporting. We've got some great support on here. We've been going through a lot, and a lot of people have stepped up to the plate to make it easier on me, because let's face it, I mean, these platforms don't produce a lot. We don't do a whole lot in super chats and super stickers. It's mostly advertisement revenue, which is why it's so important for me to make sure that that we don't cuss on here over too much, because they'll take your advertisement stuff away and things of that nature. So I want to keep it clean. We want to keep it PG-13. We don't want to make it an R-rated, channel for avocation of these victims of crime. But we do need to make sure that that we take care of this. I don't know what would have happened had it been any other creator other than me. I don't think we would be able, face it, the county has decided to wage war on the First Amendment. Okay? There's no other way to explain it other than that. They tried to wage war on the First Amendment. Well, there's no other person to wage war on the First Amendment than a political activist, a conservative political activist that absolutely believes in our Constitution and what it means for each and every one of us, that has had a legal background, that understands the true gravity of what is being done here. And there is no way in hell I'm leaving that county with this horrible ruling on its plate, even if it costs us $30,000 to undo the damage that the sheriff and this judge has done to their own community. We will unwind it. We will fix it. It's just going to be an uphill battle until we get this out of this county. It's got to get out of this county. Nobody's going to be treated fair in this county because they are clearly corrupt. You got detectives lying on affidavits. You got people doing bunk protective orders that when I'm not even their family and never threatened their life. And you got a judge co-signing all of it. If that's not freaking corruption, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. But we got damn good platforms here. And you know what? We have more members of the coffee club and the Bullhorn Betty. We have more subscribers than their local media. And that might piss them off a little bit. But I got to tell you, I do lean on their local media to help out. There is at least one media channel that I absolutely highly respect. I will tell you that. Hey, April. It's nice to see you. Thank you. Well, we're standing our ground. Believe that. Believe that. We're standing our ground because let's face it, they pissed me off, right? They have pissed me slap off because they violated my rights, and I'm angry about that. Because I have never believed in a million years. No offense to my Democrats in here, but let's face it. I believed I would have been treated like this in a Democrat area before ever a conservative area. You guys have to agree on that. I'm sure you guys would believe that too. But for me to be treated like this by my own people, oh hell no! I'm a scrapper. We're going to court. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's where's the dotted lines? How much is this going to cost at this point? This is not a very comfortable place for me to be at all. But this is something we cannot stand by and allow happen, So, all right, guys, that's all I've got for today. We're here to advocate for Sebastian Rogers. I'm gonna have to do a thumbnail. I haven't done thumbnails in forever. It's just so hard to when you don't have good internet, like hotspots. What is that? Like 10 gigs? But it's hard to download and upload stuff. I promise you guys, when you have no good internet, it's hard to download. That's why I can only go live. I can't even produce a video. It would take 3 days to upload it on the internet that we've got right now. This is like the best I can do. It's either this with the hotspot or out in the car. That's the internet for us. So you got me inside on the hotspot, which may, you know, it may flutter a little bit because it's like another cell service, but I got it over there by the window. It was the only place in this entire house that actually got bars. So I stuck it there. You should have seen me. I'm like, well, I get 3 bars if it's up here. I get 2 bars if it's down here. Mom, give me something to stand it up on. Then she gets it up. I'm like, damn, it went to 1 bar. I'm like, damn, let's put it down. Then you go, don't move, don't breathe. It's got the 3 bars. Don't breathe, don't move, don't move. Mom, don't get the vacuum cleaner near there. It's gonna ruin the. However, the fight plays into their hands. In my opinion, it takes the focus off Sebastian away. That's why we're not going to stop. That's why we're not going to stop talking about him, because this is what they want. This is exactly what they want. You are absolutely right about that. They want to take it off of him because these parents don't want him found. Mommy Dearest doesn't want him found. Did you see that big old smiling cord? Go look at it. Grandma, back in the back, cackling. These people are insane. And you know what? Their politicians are bought and paid for, so they can do whatever the hell they want. It's a disgusting situation. Again, we're here to drain the swamp, and that's exactly what I plan to do. So unfortunately, you're going to have, victim advocate Betty and political Betty. Okay, because I'm going to have to be. I'm making sure that this community might have to deal with this for 4 years, but I'm going to be working my ass off that they never have to deal with this after the 4 years. It's too late for me to do a whole lot before the election. But I will tell you, after this election, I'll be working overtime to make sure Eric Craddock no longer has a job in 4 years. And he can throw me in jail as many times as he wants to. It's still not going to change the fact that I'm going to be there. And if I have to move to that damn county to make sure it happens, that's exactly what I plan on doing. One thing that they don't understand is I own my home here free and clear. Okay? For me to go and rent someplace in Tennessee won't be no hair off my butt. Besides that, the rental is a hell of a lot cheaper there in Tennessee than it is here. I will become a resident of that county to make sure that sheriff never, in a history after these 4 years, will ever be a sheriff in that county again or ever treat another person like that. I will be there to drain the swamp. Won't be the first time or the first county I've done it in. Maybe they should have done a little more opposition research before they decided to poke the bear. Just saying, because I'll do it all legally and lawfully. And like I said, when I was very angry, there's not going to be a damn thing that they can do about it. Not their judge, not their police. Why? Because I don't break the law. And you cannot put somebody under the jail that hasn't broken the law. Now, you might be slick and shady and corrupt and make things up or bend the law as you see fit to try to get those things done, but doesn't make it lawful or legal. So what they're doing to me is unconstitutional and is not legal. That's why I say they're no different than the criminals that they put in jail. So sue me. Oh, never mind. They got silver bracelets with my name on it. We'll be fine. All right, guys. Have a great day. God bless. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. But more importantly, be kind to one another. Rock it out with your... Oh, don't leave just yet. I want to thank all the beautiful people in here that donated. Because I might have missed. Oh, look at I missed a lot. Holly says happy Monday. Oh, Melanie, thank you for the cup of coffee. Nick, thank you so much for that. Hugs to everybody. By the way, happy Thanksgiving to all the Canadians. It's nice to see you guys. My what do we call you guys? Snowbirds? Actually, we should call you guys icebergs because don't you guys live in ice? I heard it's like cold like 6 months out of the year. I could be wrong. Maybe that's parts of it. I don't know. Robin, it's nice. Oh, welcome to the family, Robin. I know you've been part of the family for a while, but it's official. Welcome to the fam, this crazy family we call the Coffee Club. Miss Lee, mom of 3, you're so beautiful. Give the babies hugs and kisses for me. Libby became one of the newest members of the Coffee Club. Welcome to the crazy family. All right. Lisa says, Betty is on the right side of all this mess. Thank you so much. Coming soon, Tracy. It's nice to see you. Our beautiful Kelly, the OG, says, I'm Down to help any way I can. We got you. Thank you, Kelly. And April says, you are amazing and all you do. Stand your ground. Thank you guys so very much. I want you all to have an amazing and blessed day. I'm going to continue to come on here and talk about some things. We are going to segue to some. We do have a couple of Leilani Simon. It's obviously today's her first trial. If you guys know, I'm wearing the shirt that was made for that. It's Team Quentin. I don't know if you guys can see that. Team Quentin. And it says, Mommy, why wasn't I good enough? And every chance I get, I wear this shirt here in Sumner County as well, because I want to make sure if I am seen in that county, people see that, because it goes for all of our babies. All of our babies that are abused and harmed by their parents. All of them. I know at least 3 of them right now. Summer Wells, Sebastian Rogers, as well as Quentin Simon, that appear to have lost their life at the hands of their parents. One or all, or some, right? And that's kind of where we are. Chex Mix, bold, awesome. I told you guys the recipe my mom put together yesterday. It's like 3/4 of one of these bags. This bag is 8 ounces. So 3/4 of that bag, a whole package of emerald nuts that she used the honey, I think it's the honey nut or honey glazed pecan, not pecans, cashews, honey glazed cashews. And then she took, like, you know, those little fun size bars. She had the crunch bars, the ones that you hand out during Halloween. And she had like 4 of those and chopped those up and threw those in there. And I got to tell you, that was one of the best Chex Mix I think I've ever tasted. Now, this bag from Publix cost about $4.99, or no, $3.99. Her nuts cost $4.49. So you already have $7. But it was spread around for 3 people. So it was good. It was really, really tasty. And I got to tell you, you're not going to buy a bag of that in the store. And it was the best, I think, the best type of trail mix I've had in a really, really long time. And you didn't even need to cook it or bake it or anything. You just threw that in with that, and then you just mixed it all up with your hands, and the trail mix was done. It was good. It was delicious. Mom, you didn't hear this because I cleaned it up, but I got a little chocolate on your bed last night. But I got up in the middle of the night and realized it was there because Delilah was kind of licking it. And then I realized it must have been a crumb that melted. And then I got up and got my washcloth and I cleaned it up really good so you didn't even notice it. And I promise that's not why I made the bed. Just saying. Hey, the real me too. It's nice to see you. Nice to see you. Delilah's out there with Mama Bullhorn, with Gamsies. With Gamsies. She's out there with Gamsies. All right, guys. You guys have a great day. God bless you. We're going to get back to this. We're going to get back to avocation. We're going to get back to the maps. We're going to get back to tracking the leads. Tracking the leads. So we'll be doing that. We'll also be like busted. I am. My mom just changed the sheets on here, and I woke up and I rolled over. I'm like, what is that? And then you've seen Delilah go. I'm like, oh shit. Mom wasn't in here, so I go in there and I took my washcloth. I got on the bed, started scrubbing it. Get out of here. I got it out. I got it out. That's why Mommy didn't see it. I did get it out, but I was panicking. If you guys know my mom's like white glove clean. So it's like she would freaking be twisted. She'd rip the whole bed apart because it's got a little crumb on it. She just washed the sheets. I did bust myself. My mom's going to be in here checking the bed. She's going to be pulling the covers back and saying, what'd you do to my sheet? I don't have this problem at home. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm a slob. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. All right, guys. You take it for what you will. Enjoy your day. I'll talk to you soon. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. It is Manic Monday. I will try to be back this evening for a little bit if I can. When people get home, it makes the internet a little more unstable. Right now, it's not too bad. So we'll just bear with me. We do have, you know, like the phone internet, but it's just not real internet. You can't really upload and download from the phone, you know, not an hour video. That's why I haven't been on TikTok, because I always download those videos and put them on here. But it would literally take me 3 days right now to upload even a 30-minute video would probably take me all day to upload to this to YouTube. I mean, it's the internet situation here is bad. The gas situation here is bad. The damage to my county is extensive. I mean, it's bad. The airport lost part of its roof. Tropicana Fields, which is further north. Like, this happened down south. This happened in my backyard, and Tropicana Fields lost their roof. If that doesn't tell you how powerful those winds are. And that was miles away from the eye. Miles. The eye was in my backyard. They're not in my backyard. They're, you know, 45 minutes away from my home. Siesta Key is only like a 20-minute drive down the road. You know, Tropicana Fields, on the other hand, is 45 minutes away from my home, and their whole freaking roof ripped off. We have extensive, and I'm talking extensive damages. Some of these mobile homes, you know, we know that there were people that lost their life because they're too poor. They didn't have no means to get anywhere. And some of these mobile homes were leveled. Some of these buildings were leveled. We didn't have, thank God, we didn't have the huge storm surge, you know, the 15-foot storm surge that we should have had. And that was because, from my understanding, it had something to do with the storm splitting. And so there was nothing really on the back side of that, I mean, we did have some water, don't get me wrong. There was a storm surge, but not to the extent that we were anticipating it to be. So we'll see. Anyways, guys, you guys take care. I love you, and God bless.